Ali Mokdad open workouts at HM Fitness Center, and I'm with Ana, the Hurricane Julaton. And Ana, you know, you were saying something really interesting in the media scrum. You're saying, someone asked you, why are you called the Hurricane? And you had a really awesome answer. I'd love for you to just tell us that answer to the people that are watching.
Sure. It's just to get my name correctly. I mentioned Michael Buffer said my name in the ring right before I had my fight, and he just massacred it. He tore it up. So we added Hurricane to remind the announcers that my last name is pronounced with an H instead of a J. So Hurricane Julaton kind of had a nice ring to it. And, you know, I just want people to get my name right.
So it has nothing to do with your aggressive combinations or your fighting style?
A lot of people would like to assume that, and I'd like to accentuate that type of feel with the Hurricane, but that's pretty much the origins of it. Just get the name right.
Just out of curiosity, how did he pronounce your name?
Something like Julation, with like a celebration, kind of. I can post it up on Facebook or whatnot, yeah. But
that's okay, we're gonna take your word for it. But let's talk about your fight against Ann Osman. In your last fight, it was your first time in an MMA bout. People that know your career, that follow your career, know that you're an IBO, WBO, super bantamweight champ. So what's that transition been like from boxing to MMA? I know you've talked a lot about, you know, you like martial arts and you know, you've always been a martial artist, but what has that transition been like to take boxing now and put it into an arsenal of wrestling and jiu-jitsu and whatnot?
Quite honestly, it's been phenomenal. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's humbling because it's very tough. It demands a lot out of you. You have to be highly disciplined, but just I think it's beautiful just to be able to incorporate what I've learned through the art of pugilism, through boxing, just being able to stick to a strategy, having effective footwork, effective head movement, being able to actually have a plan during a long duration for world title fights, and just to incorporate that with things that were actually legal that wasn't in the ring. Elbows, knees, chokes, escaping chokes, slamming people on the floor, things like that. For me, I don't know what it is, but it gets me really excited.
So you've been working a lot on your ground game, and can you just tell us a little bit about what that entailed?
I think it's beautiful, for one, and you know, just being able to just know the disciplines of the martial arts and also with boxing, you'll start to see, or I started to recognize that a lot of the basics, they go hand in hand. So if you understand one basic in boxing, for instance, like clinching, for instance, you can use a lot of the elements there on the ground. Hip movement, stuff like that, positioning, getting there first, same concept, same philosophies and things like that. And I feel like since I've been so used to using my body, throwing punches, throwing kicks as a kid, throwing knees and elbows and stuff like that, I feel like it's been able to connect at a lot faster rate for me, and it's peaked an untapped level of just enthusiasm in my training. So I feel like it's able to give me that competitive edge I've been looking for a long time.
It sounds like you're really pumped up for this fight. So let's talk a little bit about your opponent, Ann Osman. What do you think she possesses that's going to be a challenge for you on Friday night?
I feel like she's just like all my opponents. They want a gun from me. They want to take what I have. It took me over 10 years to reach this level and to be on this stage and to be the only female fight on a male card in the biggest MMA fight in Dubai. And so it's not something that I'm going to let go. So with all my opponents, whether it was the last one, this one, and the next one coming up, they want to take what I have. So what I need to have them know is that I'm ready to fight. I've been tested. I've been challenged. I've fought. I've bled for the arts. I've sacrificed my entire life. This is my career. All I can say is anyone coming out August 29th, and I'm the first fight, so please come out and watch, is you're going to have one exciting fight.
All right, you are actually you just led me into my next question. You're the first fight on the card. So is there a lot of pressure, because you have to basically set the pace and you have to set the tone for the entire night, and you were the first female fighter on that male-dominated card, so there's a lot of responsibility on you. How does that make you feel?
I think with all my experience in boxing, I kind of went through something like that, and so all the qualms and all the questions and all the doubts that I would have for something like this, I think has already been answered. Right now, I just feel like I'm finally gonna go. Let's bring it. Let's do it. 6 o'clock on the dot. I'll be warmed up and ready to go.
And do you think that this is part of like the bigger plan? You know, like we see fighters like Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate. You know, there's so many fighters that are making headways for women in combat sports. So do you feel you're part of that?
I feel like women in general in the fight sports have been doing phenomenal things. I mean, just even in the sport of boxing, I've headlined in other countries. I fought in front of 40,000 Argentinians rooting against me for a world title fight. So, I feel like fighters, whether you're male or female, everyone wants to bring it as long as you're a true fighter. And I feel like I'm in the right moment at this time for me to excel as a female fighter.
All right, you just keep leading me into my next question. So I'm gonna ask you this. Hey, this is perfect. So you know that in the UAE there's a large Filipino population. There's about 9% of the UAE in total are Filipinos. It's almost equivalent to the amount of local population. So what's that feel like to fight? Actually, it's almost like fighting in the Philippines for you.
For me, it's really exciting. I mean, I mentioned earlier that I got to see some of my kababayans, my countrymen, people from the Philippines in the airport already, and I almost feel like home away from home. One thing I could say about the Filipino community is that we're pretty much everywhere. It's nice to be able to see the reception here and just to see the community out here and how everything's been working out so far here in Dubai. And I'm just really honored and thrilled.
Anything you want to say to them before I let you go?
First fight, August 29th. Please don't miss it. I would love to see everyone out there. Maraming salamat sa suporta, for all your support over the years. And, I'm very proud to be a Filipina, and I'm proud to be coming over here in Dubai. And I look forward to putting up a really good fight and represent you all. So be on the lookout.
You heard it from Ana the Hurricane Julaton, who's set to take on Ann Osman. She is the first fight at ONE FC that goes down August 29th at the World Trade Center. Anna, good luck. We're going to look forward to watching your fight, and I'm sure all the Filipinos and the Filipinas out in the crowd are going to be cheering you on.